Title: Welcome to the Industrial Heat Stress Management Series. In this session we will discuss the fundamentals of heat stress, the physics and physiology that explain how the human body responds to heat exposure in the workplace. Understanding these principles helps supervisors and workers recognize heat hazards early and take appropriate preventive measures. What is heat stress? Heat stress refers to the total heat load placed on the human body. This heat load arises from several sources, including environmental temperature, humidity, radiant heat, air movement, physical workload, and clothing worn during work. When these factors combine, the body must work continuously to maintain a safe internal temperature. Heat stress versus heat strain. It is important to distinguish between heat stress and heat strain. Heat stress refers to the external environmental heat load acting on the body. Heat strain refers to the body's physiological response to that heat load as it attempts to maintain internal temperature within safe limits. Physiologic consequences of heat. When the body is exposed to heat, blood flow to the skin surface increases in order to facilitate cooling. However, this redistribution of blood means that less blood is available for muscles, the brain, and internal organs. As a result, physical strength and endurance may decline, and alertness and concentration may also be affected. These changes increase the risk of errors and workplace accidents. How the body handles heat. The human body maintains a stable internal temperature through several physiological mechanisms. In hot environments, the most important of these mechanisms is sweating. When body temperature rises, sweat glands produce sweat, and blood circulation increases near the skin surface. Heat is then removed from the body primarily through evaporation of sweat. Key principle of cooling. A critical concept to understand is that sweating cools the body only when sweat evaporates. If sweat simply drips from the skin without evaporating, very little cooling occurs. Evaporation is therefore the key mechanism that allows the body to lose heat in hot environments. Why humidity matters. Relative humidity plays a major role in determining whether sweat can evaporate effectively. When humidity is high, the air already contains large amounts of moisture. Under these conditions, sweat evaporation becomes difficult, and sweat may drip from the body instead of evaporating. This significantly reduces the body's ability to cool itself. Sweat loss during work. During normal daily activity, a person may lose approximately 2.5 liters of sweat. During heavy work in hot environments, sweat loss may reach 1 to 1.5 liters per hour. If this fluid loss is not replaced adequately, dehydration develops and the body's ability to regulate temperature declines. Hydration principles. Hydration is therefore one of the most important preventive measures in hot environments. Workers should drink fluids before thirst develops. Small and frequent intake is preferable to large amounts taken infrequently. A practical guideline is to drink approximately 1 glass of water, about 150 to 200 milliliters, every 20 to 30 minutes during hot work. Physiological limits of fluid intake. The body also has limits in terms of how quickly fluids can be absorbed. The stomach typically empties fluid at a rate of approximately 1.5 liters per hour. Excessive fluid intake beyond this rate may cause gastric discomfort and is generally unnecessary. Heat acclimatization. Another important protective mechanism is acclimatization. When individuals are gradually exposed to hot environments over a period of time, the body adapts. Sweating becomes more efficient, cardiovascular stability improves, and tolerance to heat increases. This process usually takes between 7 and 14 days. Heat stress assessment. Because heat stress depends on multiple environmental factors, temperature alone cannot accurately predict risk. Heat stress indices combine several environmental variables to estimate heat load. Commonly used indices include wet bulb globe temperature, thermal work limit, and predicted heat strain. Key takeaways. Let us briefly summarize the key points from this session. Heat stress results from the combined effects of environmental heat, work intensity, and clothing. Sweating cools the body only when sweat evaporates. High humidity reduces evaporation and increases heat risk. Adequate hydration and proper acclimatization are essential preventive measures. Series continuation. This video is part of the Industrial Heat Stress Management series. In the next videos we will discuss practical strategies for preventing heat stress in the workplace, recognition and early response to heat illness, and the use of HART for heat risk assessment.